Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here with me for another morning of coffee and news. It's your homie Phil Buck here. I want to send a special shout out to the folks that sent me some of those funny photoshops at the beginning. I think it was, who was it this morning? Josh Boyd, Josh C., Robert Smith, and John Merrifield. So appreciate you guys. If you are enjoying those images, feel free to send me one, and I'll work it in the intro. We're all trying to have fun here, but anybody check out that Lunar Eclipse last night? That was wild. I missed it, so I'm just saying that, I guess, share in your excitement. We did get to see the full moon, though. It was really nice, and I set out a cup of water. Shout out to Ashley Gordon, who told me about moon water last night. I never heard of such a thing. But apparently, if you put some water out in the moonlight, you make moon water. So that's new to me. But I got a cup and I put it in the fridge. Gonna figure out what I'm supposed to do with it. If you guys saw the lunar eclipse, shout out in the chat. Let me know what you think. Let me get the chat open here. See if anybody's here with me yet. Looks like somebody's watching. Well, good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather for today across the world. In a few select locations. Here in Denver, it's warmed up a little bit, 46 degrees with scattered clouds. Like to hear that. We're going to be heading over to Meow Wolf for the first time today. I know some of y'all have probably been to Meow Wolf in Santa Fe, the original, as well as they have a new one in Las Vegas now that a lot of people have gone to at the Omega Mart. Well, I'm going to be going to Convergence Station, which is new here in Denver, just opened a couple months ago, so we're super excited about that. Looks like in New York, and not too warm, 43 degrees and sunny. So finally, all that cold that we had is moving y'all's way. Oh, hey there. How's it going? Sorry, don't mind me. Just doing a show here. London, 54 degrees, partly sunny, partly cloudy. Always like to try to guess which way should you say it? Is it more sun or is it more clouds? Tokyo, cool and clear. Always like to take a look at the LA weather as well. 54 degrees, 2% of precipitation today in LA. Looks like it's going to be a real nice day out there, maybe partly cloudy. 67 degrees. Good morning, Mythic Politics. Thanks for tuning in. This is, I got this mug. Yeah, it has some green in it too, doesn't it? Got that mug in Hawaii. And it's like my memento from the trip. Yes, get your cup of coffee. I really need it this morning. I was up late with the Suck podcast we record on Thursday nights, and then we watched the new Wheel of Time show. Have you guys heard about this? Have you seen this? It's coming out on Amazon Prime. I thought it was coming out today, but they let it out early last night, I guess. 3 episodes already available. This is based on the Robert Jordan fantasy novel, and they're huge, thick books. I think there's 14 total in the series. I'm definitely biased. I have 2 of the books almost in arm's reach, but I would show them to you if I could reach it. But yeah, Robert Jordan made a big, huge fantasy epic, and it's finally being brought to the screen for the first time. If you guys are interested in that, or if you watched it, let me know your thoughts in the chat. So far, so good. I'm not going to say a whole lot because I've only seen 1 episode, and I'm like super skeptical critic of the whole endeavor. But I was fairly happy. Some big changes, I would say, from the books already. But overall, pretty enjoyable. Let's go ahead and let's dig into the news. First up, I saw at the very top, it looks like the House Democrats have finally passed Biden's social safety net expansion. Major obstacles await in the Senate. No surprise there. I know he's really been pushing this bill, and we'll see if he gets it through. I'm wondering, is this the same one they're calling Build Back Better or something like that? Good luck. I did want to go to this other story right here, which I think is pretty different. if we're talking about the president, it turns out Kamala Harris, is to be the first woman to hold U.S. presidential reigns as Biden undergoes a colonoscopy. So yeah, I guess today, is it today? President Joe Biden will transfer power briefly to Vice President Kamala Harris on Friday, today, while he undergoes anesthesia for a routine colonoscopy, making her the first woman to hold presidential power in U.S. history. So a small thing, but kind of a big, note in history. I think a lot of people were, very, I don't know what the word is, like a lot of people kind of foresaw that Kamala Harris had a pretty good chance of, stepping up to the presidential spot because Joe Biden is the oldest president that we've ever had. Weird vibes. In Austria, it seems like they're really wrestling with the COVID-19 epidemic. Austria announces nationwide lockdown and plans a vaccine mandate. Austria reimposes full lockdown, plans to make COVID vaccines compulsory. So we gotta, stay vigilant out there, y'all. I gotta work on my evening to morning schedule. I feel like I'm not at the top of my game as far as reading and speaking goes because I've been staying up so late doing this same thing. We'll get there. All right, I think we're going to move on from world news and look at some stories tailored specifically to me. And we're already off to a great start. Animal Crossing's New Horizon Update 2.0.2 patch notes, more fixes for the main game, and Happy Home Paradise. Let's take a look. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was a pretty big player for the original release of Animal Crossing New Horizons. It was right when the pandemic started and a lot of people were stuck at home. We had just had a new baby. I think Goldie was 4 or 5 months when the lockdown started. So we were already, in cabin fever mode, just being stuck at home, taking care of baby, very little options to get out. And then the lockdown happened, so we have even less. And we dove in headfirst to Animal Crossing. Lee and I both played it a lot. It was a ton of fun. I'm super grateful that we had something like that to entertain and distract us. At this point, I don't really ever play it. It ran its course. But I do like to see what's going on because I know they just released a brand new update. The version 2.0 is a big deal for a lot of people. So let's see. Fixed issues. During one of Captain's boat tours, Brewster could overlap with the player and prevent the player from moving. That's not good. I'm glad they fixed that. Captain's song could stop playing and prevent the game from proceeding. Yikes. Selecting the How Does This Work option when starting a group stretching session during a multiplayer session could prevent the game from proceeding. So it seems like these are all pretty standard, just bug fixes. Nothing really all that exciting. Thanks for taking a look at that with me, though. Do anybody out there, do y'all play Animal Crossing? Let me know if you do. What's your island called? Let's see. John Hopkins, Music for Psychedelic Therapy, album review. I actually heard an interview with John Hopkins about this album on NPR on my way to pick up Goldie from daycare the other day. It sounds fascinating. I'm not super familiar with John Hopkins. If y'all are, let me know in the chat. But I think John is known for, more of dance music, club, four on the floor, boots and cat style music. But I listened to this on NPR and I was really fascinated by the music. It's just long form ambient music. One of the things I really enjoyed to hear about this, maybe we'll read some of this article, but I'll just tell you my take on it. It was fascinating to hear that what inspired this is that he was brought to Ecuador to go into these caves, and it's just like this giant hole in the ground, and he goes down. Oh, hey, just trying to do a show here. Jeez. And so they take them down into this cave where you're just like way down, and there's just like a little opening of sunlight up above, and he did all these field recordings, and he had like a little speaker where he was playing sounds and letting the reverberations of the walls bounce back and recording the sounds he was making within the cave. And then I guess to kind of wrap up my takeaways from the interview on NPR was just that he did all this stuff and kind of forgot about the material and came back to it over the pandemic, when there was, I guess, less projects for him to do. He wasn't playing out, and he opened all this stuff up and felt like, it's almost, the album's almost practically done for him. And so I'm imagining he had to do some arrangements and mixing and editing, but the way he makes it sound is that a lot of the music in its final form was not far away from how he found it. So I think that's really fascinating. Let's take a look at the article. Again, this is about John Hopkins' Music for Psychedelic Therapy, which is not really a tongue-in-cheek name. I know some people might read it and think it's meant to be something funny or clever, but I think it is inspired by the idea that for people taking psychedelic trips, oftentimes the right type of music can really be a guide for you. So let's see what this says. What music should soundtrack the psychedelic revolution? That's one of many meta-inquiries bewildering neuroscientists as they work to make psychedelic-assisted therapy more widely available and legal. The music, they've discovered, really matters, since it not only supports the trip, but can actually shape it, steering the patients toward new mental frontiers. And yet most clinical researchers have still been using the same choppy playlist of Brahms, Bach, and the Beatles. They wanted something better, something less familiar, more bespoke, and John Hopkins was determined to fill that void. Fascinating. Matt Schaefer, good morning to you. Willow, good morning as well. What's Willow saying? I've been meaning to play again since the new update. Been playing OOT again instead. What's OOT? I don't know the abbreviation, sorry. Okay, well, we'll leave it here for Music for Psychedelic Therapy. Sounds fascinating. I do want to check out the whole album. See if it's on one of my streaming platforms later today. Okay, this is another one that's interesting for me personally. The Moon Knight show by Marvel Studios has been teased. We know that it stars Oscar Isaac, is that his name, who was most recently in Dune, but so many other movies and shows. He's going to be playing the titular, I can't say it today, titular role of Moon Knight. I always like that word, titular. But let's take a quick look at this article. It seems like it doesn't have a ton of substance, but I do have a cup of moon water, as I was telling everybody at the top of the show. If you don't know about moon water, you're not alone. I don't know about moon water. I didn't know about it until last night. Apparently, if you leave a glass of water out in the moonlight, you create moon water. However, it says teased, dang near edged. I don't know. I think that the materials, there's only, I would call it a tease rather than an edge personally, because they didn't even give you enough to really edge with. I think, the total amount of screen time you see for this show so far is something like 30 seconds. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm miscalculating. Oh, Ocarina of Time. Willow says, wanted to get back to playing Animal Crossing. I've been playing OOT. Maybe you guys knew, but I didn't. That's for Ocarina of Time. But yeah, back to Moon Knight. If you haven't seen the teaser, I wouldn't blame you. It kind of snuck out with all the Disney Plus stuff that was happening. Disney Plus Day. They had a day where they were just revealing all the projects that were in work in progress mode, and kind of teasing us with mostly title cards. A lot of exciting properties, but I think it's silly that really all they were showing was logos. But they did actually show us some recorded materials of we saw Moon Knight, we saw She-Hulk, we saw Miss Marvel, and I guess Hawkeye is in there too, which the new Hawkeye show comes out on Disney Plus. I don't think it's this Friday. It may be next Friday. But Moon Knight, they haven't said when it's going to come out. So we're still waiting on that information and lots more. They say in this headline, the Moon Knight teaser may have secretly debuted one of Marvel's elder gods. A blink and you'll miss it moment in the Moon Knight teaser could foretell the appearance of a creature from his comic origins. Fans got their first look at the Moon Knight television series at Disney Plus Day. The short teaser gave them a feel for the dark niche the show is carving out in the MCU. It does this by establishing a heavy atmosphere, showcasing the mental instability at the heart of the character. The teaser is frightening enough to feel more like a horror story than a superhero series. That's especially true of the scene where Oscar Isaac's Mark Spector appears to be stalked by a creature in a museum. That could be a tease for two crucial figures from Spector's comic book past. And here they are. The Moon Knight's god Khonshu. Love that. And let's see if they tease who else it could have been. How does Werewolf by Night connect to Moon Knight? Well, we'll leave all those stories up in the air for now. Those are questions that have yet to be answered. And usually with these comic book websites, they're lacking a lot of substance. They're just kind of pontificating, if you will. Let's check in with the chat. Willis is constantly edging to Oscar Isaac's work. Understandable. I hit the coffee hard this morning. I don't think, the second half of the show, I'm just not going to have any coffee. Let's check in with the weather because the sun is slowly rising behind me. It's nice. Yeah, there it is. This is hopefully you guys like my new studio on the beach. I was trying to create an even more relaxing vibe than the first couple of episodes. And the original idea was to try to read stories to you in a very soothing manner. But I thought, since we had the beach video, let's go ahead and add in some beach sounds and maybe some relaxing wind chimes. But just checking in on the weather. 46 degrees in Denver. Scattered clouds. In New York, 43 and sunny. In London, 54, partly sunny. And in Tokyo, 51 and cool. We can also check LA again. 54 degrees with a little fog. High of 67 today. Love it. Need to get out to LA more. All right. And one more story for me. It says Sesame Street. John Batiste sings Heroes in Your Neighborhood. Do they mean the David Bowie song? Hey, Joshua Bajang. What's up, man? So, wow, this isn't even a story. This is literally just a YouTube video. I don't have the audio routed to the pod from my Chrome, so we're going to just skip over that. But love John Batiste. He did that movie Soul soundtrack, which was so great. I really enjoyed. I think my first exposure to John Batiste was the Colbert Show when he took over for Letterman. He was the band leader, and he's from New Orleans, if I remember correct, and he really brought that vibe to the show, and something I really appreciated to see that on mainstream TV. Band leaders are such a big deal, in the late night world. So it's such an interesting thing to see who is going to take on that role. So John Batiste on Sesame Street. Gonna have to check that out. All right. In U.S. news, we may skim kind of through this. Some of these stories can be a bummer, but let's see what we're working on here. U.S. expands COVID boosters to all adults. Final hurdle ahead. FDA authorizes Pfizer. Hi, how you guys doing? Don't mind me. What were we saying? FDA authorizes Pfizer/BioNTech and Moderna coronavirus vaccine boosters for all adults. Okay, cool. Have you guys gotten a booster yet? Are you a vaxxer, anti-vaxxer? Let me know in the chat. I'm vaccinated. That really took some stress off my mind to know that I could get back out in the world. And I probably need to get that booster shot. And what is this? Something about CBO finds Biden's spending bill not fully paid for. I don't know what CBO stands for. Do you? See, Everett says, "Dirt Gang, rise up." There you go. I'm a big fan of natural immunity. I've always been a get your hands dirty type of person. But in this scenario, I was, I don't always get my flu shot, but in this scenario, I was for the COVID vaccine. Everett says, "I got the fake passports to get extra boosters." All right. Let's see. Travis McMichael testifies Ahmaud Arbery was just running and did not threaten him before fatal encounter. I don't know the full story here. Not going to dig into it, but if you guys have followed that one, that seems like a pretty big deal. Whole different ball game. Dems vow they've learned Obamacare lessons in messaging 1.7 trillion megabill. Yeah, seems unlikely. All right, let's take a look at world news. Modi to repeal India farm laws following protests. I hope that means that that's a good thing for the protesters. That's what that headline would imply. Let's take a deeper look, since I don't know about this, and I always like to see worker class struggles, situations. The Times is not going to let me read that article, so we'll keep going. Ping Shui hasn't been seen in public since making sexual assault allegations. Here's what you need to know. Whew, that's, kind of dark. I don't think I want to dig into that one either. We're going to see if there's anything uplifting. Hopefully, we send our thoughts in regards to Ping Shui. Hope she's okay and doing okay, but I know that's a dark situation. Okay, a little bit of weather. Rain, large storms possible for Thanksgiving Day around the U.S. Here's what could happen in Ohio. Okay. All right. I always like this part of the show. We're going to take a look at my local news. If you guys don't know, I live in Arvada, Colorado, little suburb, if you will, of Denver, in the northwest side of the city. And sometimes these are about Arvada. Sometimes they're just about the Denver area. For instance, Tears for Fears announces Denver concert in 2022. Cool. 7 best things to do in Denver and beyond this weekend. Yeah, I think I'll spare you guys that one. If you all ever see any articles as I'm skimming that you'd like me to read, shout it out. Jefferson County, this is Jeffco. That stands for Jefferson County here. That's the county I live in. We have Denver County as the main county for the metro area, but Jefferson County butts up against it. So for places like Arvada, Golden, I think Boulder would fall in there. We have Jefferson County as well. And it sounds like they're considering a new indoor mask mandate. So that sucks. Everybody out there in Colorado, wash your hands and, let's get these numbers down. We don't need any more mask mandates. I mean, obviously we do, if they're thinking about it. And onward, let's take a look at business news. All right, Mythic Politics, thank you. Hosting the stream, that's cool. I think that's the first time we got to use our alert box too. Always appreciate that. Okay, so morning business news is morning after pressure on Activision Blizzard's CEO to resign grows. This is good. I like to hear this. Let's put the pressure on this guy. Sick of these people. Power, man, corrupts, as they say. Next up, Thanksgiving dinner will cost Americans 14% more this year, survey finds. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? I don't, the reason I ask is because I don't even know. I don't even know what we're going to do yet. We started to make plans last week. We talked to some friends to see if we could do like a Friendsgiving situation. Time got away from us. Now it's less than a week away, and we still haven't made plans. So we might be eating some KFC chicken out of a bucket. But let me know what you are doing, if you're with friends or with family, or just doing your own little thing with your family unit. Hope you have a good time. Hope you get a lot of good food. Now let's get back to the business news. First edition U.S. Constitution copy sells for $43 million after investor outbids crypto crowdfunders. That's pretty interesting. Dirty Burden. What does that mean, Everett? Thanks for hosting. So I want to see what this is. It sounds like people were trying to crowdfund a purchase of the Constitution, a copy of it, and it was bought out from under them. So let's see. First edition copy of the U.S. Constitution sold at auction for $43 million. Bought by a mysterious investor who outbid crypto crowdfunders, $40 million bid. One of only 13 known surviving U.S. charter copies, signed on September 17th, 1787. That's cool. A first edition copy of U.S. Constitution has sold at auction for $43 million. So yeah, just kind of reiterating the stuff we just found out there at the top. The winning bidder was not immediately identified, but a Sotheby's spokesperson said the $43.2 million price tag included commissions, was a world record for a historical document offered at auction. It's fascinating. Sounds like Matt's here. Can you hear my dog barking? Chance, he's very vicious from the inside of the door. As soon as he gets out, he's not so vicious. Tech stocks are carrying S&P 500. Alibaba's slump offers a warning. Good to know. And let's move right along to... Should we dig into that a little more? The tech stocks? That seems like, might be good to know. Let's see if we can read this. Barron's.com says... the S&P 500 recorded its 66th all-time high of the year Thursday, and number 67 could well be just around the corner. Happy days. Here's to many more, right? Perhaps, but under the surface, it's slightly more complicated. Despite the index's 0.34% gain, only a third of its constituents moved higher yesterday. The last time the S&P 500 notched to ... Barron's does not want to share the rest with me. Okay, not a whole lot that we gleaned from that story, so we're going to move right along to technology. Halo Infinite, the big interview with 343 head of creative Joseph Staten. So I'm taking away from this that there's a new Halo game. I never played Halo. You guys let me know if you're big Halo fans in the chat. This is kind of cool. Spotify has added lyrics to all of its songs for all users. Here's how to find them. Let's see if we can share that. This is from USA Today. They want me to go ad free. And we're going to turn off my ad blocker. I guess I'm just going to have to disable it for this show. Thank you guys for bearing with me on that. See, in related news, Mythic Politics says Twitch/OBS added captions too. That's cool. So this is going to be kind of the end of our broadcast for today. So taking a quick look here, most Spotify users have impatiently waited for the app to include the lyrics to all its available songs, and it had been available in few countries, but not in the United States. Now, anyone using the app has access to the feature, which Spotify teased in a tweet on Wednesday. How do I see lyrics on Spotify? For anyone with the mobile app, play any song and click on the Now Playing tab. When the song appears on the screen, swipe up and the real-time lyrics will pop up. There you go, for all you Spotify users. Let's take a quick look at any of these other headlines before we wrap up for today. Walmart Black Friday deals start on Monday. See full ad early, which includes PS5, Xbox Series X, 4K TVs. I only read that because it said PS5, and I'm curious, can you even get a PS5 right now? It's funny that they would have it listed for a Black Friday thing. I'm not going to read any more about Black Friday sales. That's stupid. Sorry. Just going to skim real quick the entertainment news. Meghan Markle's Ellen appearance sparked quote-unquote cringe, but but will it be a positive move for her image? Great question that I'm not going to answer on the stream. Netflix's Cowboy Bebop unveils first clip of Ed, addresses fan speculation. Are you guys big anime fans? What do you think about this Cowboy Bebop live action adaptation? And Spider-Man No Way Home reveals Peter's toughest choice yet. That's from Nerdist News. Well, we know that the new Spider-Man movie is coming out in right around a month now. I think it's exactly a month. So it'll be good to get that one out and people can stop speculating as much. All right, guys. Let's close it up here with the weather. The sun is shining beautifully back here. Thanks for tuning in and watching the day begin. Have a little sip of coffee with me and get some headlines. I've been enjoying doing this because it has been keeping me a little more informed than I normally am. I do listen to the news on the radio a lot, but I don't catch as many articles as I would like. So this has been good for me. Like, for instance, I don't think I would have known about the Lunar Eclipse last night if we hadn't been doing this. So thank you, Everett. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you enjoyed. If you guys are enjoying this, catch me on Twitch, Phil C. Buck. I'd love for you to subscribe and watch over there. Also, my Facebook page, Phil Buck. Hit the like button if you really enjoy. I have a tip jar at Ko-Fi. You can see the link up there in the top corner. And if you want to send me some photoshops, funny photoshops of me in coffee situations, I will use those with the intro. So for now, I think the plan is just doing these Monday through Friday regularly. I'm not really sure what my weekends look like. So if I happen to get up early enough and maybe it's like I'm up before Goldie is up, I'll come and do a little 30-minute stream. But usually over the weekends, we all kind of get up together and hang out fairly early, like 8 o'clock. So I'm guessing weekend streams will not be a regular thing. But thank you for being here with me this week. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday. Hope you have a great day. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you around.